bit thicker, you do say. Your Honor, may be approach. You may. Since Commissioner Jason. This is the status document. That is correct. On this Stone last name. Should have the second page. See. Yes, wrong. So. For now, yeah. Beautiful collections. Thank you. Thank you.
What are you doing? Isn't it well?
It's been running around busy.
Yeah.
Let's just keep me busy. Like every week, there's 3 or 4 cases. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
see,
It's good then.
yeah, busy's good. Busy, I know the other one. I know the other one as well.
May have posted an off docket.
Off docket?
It's a pre-trial conference coming up this third. Not that off docket. It's on docket in 2 days.
Okay.
I have a case number, on your home worth this, 2261, 271. Exactly,
Fortis.
Fortis,
FORTIS.
Fort is. Fort, Fort. He has the felon as well, on it. It's from the same form of transaction originally. That court setting is this Monday. And we're really getting close to having with the goal disposition. That's gonna include this case. The felony prosecutor currently is confirmed by evidence, that she's trying to be in touch with and witness, but she moved out of state. They didn't try to do so, this is, they're saying 40%, if they don't, we would say that back to this case, that case, we can lay. We want to hear pre-trial conference as well.
Davis enough for those two of the witnesses. For us. Is there anyone?
Thursday, more album and. Is there anybody?
Sir, just kind of grab the piece, might be here Thursday morning with the sun. Yeah, I will. August 26th for us.
Take that.
You need to push that felony prosecutor to have it resolved, but that's okay.
I plan to go over and talk to her about it.
This will probably be a little 22 case like it's that section.
Honestly, it's
All right. Go ahead and get started as well.
Mr. Wasserstein, we are still waiting on the interpreter for your case. We'll come right back to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Did you have a seat?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Davis. There we go. All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 240-063 and 240-058, stated Texas versus Marvin Lee Davis Jr. Mr. Darnell, if you go ahead and give me an update on the cases.
Yes, sir. So Mr. Davis emailed me a lot of documents to put together a mitigation packet. I will be assembling that mitigation packet and sending it to the DAs for PTI. So I will have that submitted ASAP.
Okay.
Some of the people writing letters for him took a little bit longer than he thought, but I will get that submitted.
Well, this is his last status conference, so we need to have an answer by his pretrial conference on 9/4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Anything from the state?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Thank you for the update. Mr. Darnell, you and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Laquita Eugene, Mr. Wood, is your client here? Come back to her. Nobody's here. Now let's bring in, actually number 10's here. All right, good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes.
All right. We're on the record in 24 CCR 238-328, State of Texas versus Cynthia Mendiola. Ms. Scott, would you care to give the court an update on the case?
Yes, so we've been given an offer. My client has not accepted the offer just yet. We are on the trial docket. I know we have dates in the future, so we're going to move forward and see if we can resolve it before we get to that trial date. But that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. State anything you'd like to add?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for the update. Your pretrial conference is on September 4th. But
Okay,
if you need a plea date before then, contact Sarah.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you.
You said number 12 is here?
Yeah.
Michael Harris, come right up to that podium. Good.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. All right, let's see. Can you see your client? Let me adjust the cameras real quick. Okay, you should see your client now.
I do, yes.
All right. We're on the record in 24 CCR 241-575, 24 CCR 241-577, and 24 CCR 241-578, State of Texas versus Michael Andre Harris III. Mr. Cohen, would you care to give the We can fix that if necessary. Make note of that, State. All right, Mr. Cohen, you would give the court an update.
Sure. So we did receive an offer from the state yesterday afternoon. And so I haven't had an opportunity to communicate that with my client. I've attempted to reach him a couple of times, but I'm not sure if his phone is working, is not giving me a ring. So I just need to make contact with him to communicate the offer. And at that point, we'll get back with the state.
Mr. Harris, can you give your attorney a good phone number he can reach you at? You can speak in that microphone. He should be able to hear you. Mr. Cohen, he's going to go ahead and give you a good number.
Sure.
Go get it from her real quick. Hold on. You said you hadn't received an offer until yesterday?
Yes, yesterday, yes.
That's correct, Your Honor. He had 3 files at the last setting. I had made contact with some of the complainants, but not all of them. Since then, I put an offer on the case, even though I was not able to make contact through multiple attempts with one of the complainants. So I was holding off to see if I could make contact with all 3, but I made contact with 2 of the 3. And I extended a global offer to resolve all 3.
Okay. Last time we were in court on April 24th,
Yes.
I made a note that the state has not made an offer, but will make one next week. So it'd be in beginning of May. Let's try to get these offers out quicker if
Yes,
you
sir.
can. I understand you're trying to reach out to your complaining witnesses and speak with them, but this case has been on my docket now for probably close to at least 9 months. Can't reach a complaining witness. Let's at least get an offer out.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Harris, would you please provide your attorney a good phone number?
Yes, sir.
Speak in the microphone.
281-217-3823.
Did you get that, Mr. Cohen?
I did. I just want to make sure I got it. 281-217-3823.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give you a call this afternoon.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Thank you.
Right here. Hi. Yeah. Definitely locking. Thank you.
Let's go back to that case.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, everyone. Or afternoon. Wow.
Good
I'm sorry.
afternoon. Can you tell Mr. Ramirez to turn his camera on, please?
Señor Ramírez, ¿podría encender su cámara, por favor?
There we go. All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 240053, State of Texas versus Juan Manuel Ramirez. If I could have the interpreter raise her right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you'll truly and accurately translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor. For the record, my name is Pamela Pizzurro, license number LCI 2431.
All right, Mr. Wasserstein, what we're going to do is get an update on the case. Please go slow and probably pause every couple sentences to allow the interpreter to do her interpretation.
Yes,
Señor Wasserstein, vamos a pasar entonces con la explicación del caso. Por favor, avance lentamente y permítale a la intérprete emitir su interpretación.
May I proceed, Judge?
Yes, you may.
¿Puede empezar, juez? Sí, puede hacerlo.
Judge, the prosecutor, Mr. Vinson, has reached out to me a few times since our last court appearance.
Pues el fiscal, el señor Vincent, se ha comunicado conmigo hace unas cuantas veces desde la última audiencia que tuvimos.
He's reviewed the body cam and told me what he's looking for evidence-wise as I'm trying to get the case dismissed.
Él me ha dicho que ha revisado la grabación de la cámara corporal y me ha dicho que qué tipo de evidencias estaba tratando de encontrar y
I sent Mr. Vincent some information earlier this morning that he reviewed.
yo desde ese momento le he enviado información al señor Vincent esta mañana que él ya ha revisado.
And he had some follow-up questions that I need to actually go out to the scene to investigate.
Y tengo unas cuantas preguntas a causa de eso que han causado que yo tenga que volver al lugar de los hechos para realizar una investigación.
Judge, we're arguing self-defense, so legal justification in the case.
Pues estamos argumentando defensa propia, así que tenemos una argumentación legal en este caso.
And I can go out to the scene within the next week, Your Honor.
Y la próxima semana, su señoría, puedo acercarme al lugar de los hechos.
All right. Your pretrial conference is on September 4th. So if y'all are working towards some sort of resolution in this case, might want to get there quickly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Muy bien, su conferencia previa al juicio está fijada para el 4 de septiembre, así que si es que están tratando de buscar una resolución para ese caso, van a tener que apurar las cosas probablemente. Sí, su señoría.
State, anything you want to add?
¿Fiscalía quiere agregar algo?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is awaiting additional information from the defense to substantiate any sort of affirmative defense that the defendant will be making.
Sí, su señoría, la fiscalía está esperando información adicional por parte de la defensa para sustanciar cualquier tipo de defensa afirmativa que la defensa va a realizar.
All right, thank y'all for the update.
Gracias a todos por la actualización.
Mr. Westerstein, you and your client are free to go.
Señor Wasserstein, usted y su cliente ya se pueden retirar.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, translator, and thank you, state.
You're welcome. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Thanners, number 15. Mr. Thanners, would you turn your camera on, please? Thank you. We're on the record in 24 CCR 241290, State of Texas versus Walter Earl Thanners. Mr. Pierce, would you give the court an update?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Spoke with the prosecutor on this case, Judge. They have conveyed over an offer to dismiss the case with completion of some terms. I did receive that offer this morning. My client needs to complete 2 classes and agreed forfeiture of the weapon involved in the case, and they will dismiss. I've given him link for one of the classes and will be providing a second link for the other class for him to complete. And I anticipate he will be able to do that expediently enough that we will not need to make the in-person court appearance on our scheduling order. And I will make sure he works towards that end.
Okay, so the case will be dismissed by September 4th.
I hope much sooner, Your Honor, but I will do everything I can to encourage my client to get what he needs done.
Okay. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What about 16? We'll come to them. We'll go to last. Go to Bryant. Ed Reese Bryant, please turn your camera on. We're on the record in 23 CCR 236-818, State of Texas versus Ed Reese Bryant. Mr. Washington, would you care to give the court an update on the case?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Judge, I have some of the discovery. I believe there's still some discovery that needs to be duplicated or uploaded to Odyssey. So I'm still waiting on that. Judge, we don't have an offer in the case, but I've spoken to the ADA who's working the case, and we should have one by August, by the start of August. And part of the reason it could take that long, Judge, is I believe that the state is having some trouble reaching out to the CW. So they're making a last-ditch effort to get in contact with her.
Well, August 21st is your pretrial conference, so state.
That's correct, Your Honor. I would note this case is a little dated. However, this is Mr. Washington's second appearance on it. I did notice when reviewing the physical file that there were documents in the physical file that had not been uploaded onto Odyssey. So I did, Mr. Washington and I had a conversation about that, and I am uploading those additional documents to him. And I will note everything else he said is accurate, Your Honor.
Can we try to get him an offer prior to the pretrial date so he at least can have time to consult with his client?
Correct. That's what we had a conversation about as well. Okay. And then we'll tender a new discovery log for the court as well.
Perfect. All right. Well, I guess I will see you on August 21st for your pretrial conference then.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Don't forget that's an in-person docket.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Y'all are free to go. Thank you for the update.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Stone. He's here.
We're able to get, so they waiting on post. They're trying to make sure he's here, Your Honor.
He's not in the waiting room.
Okay.
Why don't you have him disconnect and reconnect? We'll come back to you. What about Collins? All right, we're on the record, 22 CCR 227329, State of Texas versus Rakeem Dwayne Collins. Mr. Roulette, would you care to give the court an update?
Yes, sir. We've been talking with Ms. Hicks. We've got two plea offers. I didn't learn about the plea offers till just this morning, but I'm visiting with my client about it. We've also made a counter offer, probably about 8:30 this morning, at least Mr. Breston, the attorney of record, did. And I'm hopeful something will get worked out, but we are working on it. I think it's the best way I can describe it.
Well, if it's not worked out prior to August 21st, I'll see you and your client in person for the pretrial conference.
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, anything you want to add?
I'll just note, Your Honor, that plea offer has been on the file for quite some time as well. So it wasn't just this morning.
Yeah, it probably was in the court's file, and I did not look for it there. I looked for it in our file. And that's why that happened. Also, there's one more thing, Ms. Hicks, if I may ask. It's my understanding that the complaining witness filed an affidavit of non-prosecution. Would you all have a copy of that, and would I be able to obtain that from you?
I can double check the file, but I will note there's an updated RIP. So I have been
Okay.
in recent contact with the complainant, and
All
that's
right.
my understanding.
Okay. Also, I'm going to be in Fort Bend Friday morning. Are you expected? Are you expected to be at work that day?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to make an effort to visit with you then.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Roulette, for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's bring in Ms. McKnight. 3, 4, and 5. Mendoza is not present. Is there a Mendoza in the courtroom?
Your Honor, I'm present on that.
I see that, Ms. McKnight. I don't see your client in the waiting room and not in the courtroom. Do you know where your client's at?
I do not know. I did try to give her a reminder when I sent her the Zoom link today, but she has not responded yet.
All right. I've waited around trying to see if your client would appear because I skipped over you earlier on the docket because your client wasn't here yet, but I'm now coming back to the top of the docket and state, whose case is this?
This is my case, Your Honor, all 3 cases.
Okay.
Or like me to move the bond forfeiture or?
It's up to you. You want to move for a bond forfeiture, counselor?
Your Honor, I will note that it has been 25 minutes since docket has started. Perhaps defense counsel can try to contact your client one more time. And
all right, Ms. McKnight, why don't you try to call your client or text your client one more time? Let's see if we can't get your client here. If not, then we'll proceed with the bond forfeiture.
Yes, sir. She's normally there or she's normally on Zoom, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I will, if I can stand down to give her another call, that
That's
would be
fine.
appreciated.
That's
Thank you.
fine. Put you back in the waiting room. All right, Laquita Eugene.
She should be in soon, Judge.
All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 242090, State of Texas versus Laquita Michelle Eugene. Counselor, give me an update.
So, Judge, I think I have the state at a disadvantage, which of course is not normal, given that Mr. Hearn is not here today. So he has a substitute standing in who might not have as much familiarity with this matter as Mr. Hearn does. To take you very briefly down memory lane, when we came in last time, we thought about perhaps negotiating some sort of plea arrangement. And there has been negotiations going on over the last month or two, culminating in an email that I CC'd the state and the court with concerning whether or not the court might be amenable to weekend time. Now, what I've been led to understand is that the state is offering 120 days as an agreed sentencing. And that is, according to them, up to you in terms of whether or not to entertain Ms. Eugene's request to have that served on weekends. Now, that being said, I've already talked to the state a little bit today, and they've told me that the court is almost guaranteed that you're not going to accede to that request, because normally any sentence over 30 days is something that the court doesn't entertain weekends regarding. So that's my understanding. That has been
That's pretty
conveyed.
accurate. So
Thank you, Judge. I've conveyed that to my client, and we're setting for trial already. Now, I don't think she wants to go to trial, so that leaves essentially us at the position of the state's rock bottom offer, according to Mr. Hearn, of 120 days. And that's it, basically. So my understanding is if she wants to avoid a trial, we need to get a plea date, an agreed sentencing date, to present that to the court, see if the court will accept it. If the court does, then the sentence would commence then, is my understanding. So I think that's where we are right now.
Okay. Well, if your client all of a sudden decides she wants to take the offer, you can contact Sarah, get a plea date, and get you on the docket as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I will see you and your client in person in my courtroom on September 4th.
And is that for the pretrial conference or the?
That is pretrial conference.
Okay, Judge, thank you very much.
Thank you for the update. You're free to go. Your client as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Pineda Garcia. Sorry? Oh, okay. Where are you at?
Like each step is doing.
All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 238096, State of Texas versus Deontay Adam Johnson. Let's see, Counselor, would you care to give the court an update on this case?
Good afternoon, Judge. Are you speaking with me, Your Honor?
I am.
Hi, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good, Judge. Judge, I emailed, I think the prosecutor on this case, his name is Rodney. I'm not sure if he's in the courtroom, but so Judge, there's two things that were missing. I have the PC statement in this case. I don't see a police report. The other thing, Judge, that we're missing is we have photo stills from the surveillance video that's part of the discovery in this case, Judge. But the actual surveillance video that was in the disc that we picked up is not playing, Judge. So I reached out to Rodney yesterday to see if maybe we can get another copy of that surveillance video, Judge, and if you could email me the actual police report, not just the PC statement. That's kind of where we're at. There was an offer, Judge, that was conveyed some time ago on the case, and so that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. In the discovery log that you signed off on back on January 28th, I showed that there was an offerance report of 13 pages that was e-shared with you on January 27th.
Yeah, so I asked my legal. She's upstairs. I'll ask her again, Judge. She looked through the discovery. She said she couldn't find a police report. I'll check again, Judge, and see why we don't have that, because I'm sure that was probably one of the first things that was in there, Judge's offense report. So I don't know why it is that we don't have that.
Right. Well, and the issue with the disc that you have, you need to get with the state and see if they can burn a new copy for you. Let me see something here. All right, your pretrial conference is coming up September 4th, so you probably need to figure these things out quickly.
Yes, sir.
That's an in-person docket, so I'm going to see you and your client in person in my courtroom that day.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything from state?
Yes, Your Honor. The offense report is mislabeled. It's labeled as notes instead of offense report. And that is, in fact, 13 pages. And it was shared with the defense on October 30th of 2024.
Okay. Did you get that information?
I did. So I'll look again, Judge, and see where that's at.
Okay. All right. And then with regards to the videos, again, get with the state and y'all can figure that out.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go up, Pineda. Okay. Bring him in. Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, your attorney is in trial in Harris County and is unable to attend today's hearing. I'm passing the hearing. You will appear on September 4th. That's your next docket setting for your pretrial conference. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Page 2, Natigi. Mr. Natigi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Your attorney had an illness in the family and is unable to attend today's hearing. So what's going to happen is we're passing today's hearing. Your next court setting is on September 4th at 9 a.m. That's an in-person docket in my courtroom.
Okay, no problem.
You're free to go.
All right.
Stone.
He said that he got the, was like waiting the docket and he was slow. I feel like I have a streak of this with in this court, Your Honor, with my clients.
Who is Javor Sum?
Your case number, I can't find in the office.
That might be, you're thinking about the case. I'm surprised that that's him, Judge. You don't make the defense or anything with that name, right?
Mr. Sum, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. My last name is Stone.
Stone. Okay. Very good. All right, then let's go ahead and get started. We're on the record in 24 CCR 239-598, State of Texas versus Jason DeLynn Stone. Defense counsel.
Your Honor, we have exchange came in a little bit at the tail end of this case with the Public Defender's Office. Prosecutor Vincent and I have exchanged this discovery as well as other information about this case. I think we can come to a conclusion in this case. We just gotta stir up a couple of things between us and my client. And we'll try to get placed on the docket in the future. I will explain that to my client after this day. But
When you say place in the docket, like place for a plea?
please.
Okay, prior to the pretrial, which is on August 21st?
Yes, sir. Definitely trying to make it before that. We get everything coordinated.
Okay.
That's my goal.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is confident that it can come to resolution before the pretrial conference.
Okay. All right, thank you for the update.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're free to go. Mr. Stone, you're free to go. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Miss McKnight. Miss McKnight. It looks like you got your client to connect.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let her connect her audio and then we'll get started. All right, she is fully connected. We're on the record in 24 CCR 238918, 24 CCR 238919, and 24 CCR 238920. State of Texas versus Leanna Marie Mendoza. Ms. McKnight, would you care to give the court an update?
Yes, Your Honor. This is probably more of an update from the state. Last time we were here, we indicated that there was an issue with restitution, and we had spoken with the state about that issue in regard to the options of having a hearing on restitution or otherwise. The state indicated that they would be actually subpoenaing the auto mechanic who performed the repairs. And so we were waiting on an actual confirmed amount of restitution before we can move forward. But that is the only thing that's missing on this case.
State?
That is correct, Your Honor. The state would note that the restitution that the state is subpoenaing for is related to 24 CCR 238918.
What date are you subpoenaing the mechanic for? For the pretrial conference or what?
Your Honor, this is a subpoena to Dukas Tecum.
Oh, you're just doing Dukas Tecum, okay.
Yes, Your Honor. So we're just subpoenaing for the documents, which we will then provide to the defense counsel.
Got it. Okay.
And Your Honor, I believe this case can be resolved other than that minor dispute that we're having. So once we get that, I think that the case could likely be resolved. So the state indicated that they did submit a subpoena. I believe it was today. I don't know if they did it for 10 days, but I'm hopeful that we will know the exact amount sooner than later before the pretrial conference.
Okay, well, pretrial is on September 4th, so you've got a little bit of time to get it figured out, but hopefully y'all can resolve this case prior to then.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. McKnight, thank you for getting your client here today. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
Bye.
And Nunez, let's go ahead and bring Nunez in. Mr. Nunez, you're muted.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize.
That's okay. All right, your attorney is not going to be here today. He contacted the court and said he is ill. So we're going to go ahead and pass your hearing. Your next docket setting is on August 21st at 9 a.m. for a pretrial conference. That's an in-person docket, meaning you need to be present in my courtroom.
Yes, sir. August 21st and at what time? My apologies.
August 21st at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yes, sir. In person.
That's correct. You are free to go.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a great day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, that concludes the status docket. Let's go ahead and